We are at the compound of one of Cameroon's most respectable patriarchs who laid the foundation of multi-party politics in Cameroon. We cannot be talking about multi-party politics reintroduction without mentioning the person who sacrificed, gave his all to introduce multi-party politics that many Cameroonians are enjoying today, thanks to his effort, to his sacrifice, and to his fearless battle to make it possible that today Cameroonians, journalists like ourselves, can have that freedom of speech, and also, even after the speech, in line with what the Constitution states. This is the compound of Chairman John Fru Ndi. You cannot talk about the Anglophone crisis without talking about him. He was one of those who rang the bell about Anglophone marginalization, raising concern that this issue must be looked into and must be resolved to respect the bicultural, the bicultural nature of the people of the then Southern Cameroon who have accepted to be part of the United Republic of Cameroon and now the Republic of Cameroon. He is no more, but his legacy and the spirit upon which he stood for is still lingering on and still moving across West Cameroon and the nation at large. And so today we decide to come to visit this compound and to get the spirit of freedom, the spirit that tells you that you must stand for what you believe, work for what you believe, and love each other in all that you do. That was past major strength, that strength to bring people together, that strength to make sure that people live in harmony, in love, fraternity, and in unity. And that is why we cannot talk about rebuilding Cameroon without paying respect for him as one of those who dared the odds as far as bringing the freedom that we are enjoying. You will understand that before 1990, Cameroon was operating under a system which was introduced by the former president Ahmadou Ahidjo in 1966, which became known as the Draconian Law. And that Draconian Law ushered in a one-party system. The one-party system was the CNU system, which all political parties, with a view, according to Ahidjo at the time, to have a unified voice. But to the people of the West Cameroon, from where Pa is coming from, the culture which operated was based on democracy, respect of the rule of law, and also the respect of one's culture and tradition. And that could not sing well within the Anglophone community, and they needed that one person to take a step, and that was Chairman John Fru Ndi. Moving down to 1972 referendum, when Ahidjo decided to conduct the referendum to totally merge Cameroon into what we are experiencing today, one man stood tall, which was Pa John Fru Ndi. And to be very fair and to be very honest, the 1966 Draconian Law was a law that made it difficult for the journalists to operate, for political parties to operate. And under that law, it was difficult for us to have this kind of discussion that we are having. Fast forward, by 1987, 1988, pressure mounted, the wind of change blew. Pa John Fru Ndi decided to become the sacrificial lamb to accept the fact that I will lead and bring democracy to Cameroon. And by 1990, you witnessed the famous ghost town that took place in Cameroon in 1990. All those issues about democracy, preparing multipartism, the fight of multipartism was done on this same ground. And by 1990, we experienced the launch of the new political party. That political party became known as the Social Democratic Front, which many in West Cameroon captioned it "Suffer, Don't Finish." And in the history of Cameroon, across all the political class, it is only past John Fru Ndi's name that different tribes used to compose songs to support his political campaign in the 1992 presidential election. If you could move from Wum to Wei to Zwa to Nwa to Aram, to irrespective of whichever area it was, Pa John Fru Ndi's name was used to promote democracy and to campaign in the 1992 presidential election. The famous song I remember when I was still a child O ni John Fru Ndi o ka futaufa fure ndaka nyavan vanyin dao zako wai so wai wuwa kungututumanu we ma ni John Fru Ndi o nusira lenu, which means that ni John Fru Ndi is a strong wood that gives us power, gives us strength, and that those who sat on the other side are looking for ways to bring him down, and they will not succeed because the people are within them. And that is why you see, you cannot move across the northwest or the southwest without talking about Ni John Fru Ndi. His voice, as he will say, hey Buje, the people will say, hey Buje, hey. And when he speak, the conclusion is, Pa don't talk. As Pa talk, now say go for B. And now, with he, Pa is no longer on, but the soldiers he has trained are on. You have thousands of Ni John Fru Ndis now across West Cameroon, across the nation, all championing democracy. And in 1990, President Paul Biya decided to reintroduce multi-party politics and also to relaunch freedom of freedom of the press, and freedom of expression, and freedom of association. It was thanks to the fight that they fought. Yondo Black, Ni John Fru Ndi, and a good number of them fought. Ni John Fru Ndi was that person who decided that it must be a democratic nation. And when he was arrested or kidnapped by the armed separatist fighters, he did not change his stand. He maintained his stand. And his stand, he has never stood for division. And I remember one famous rally in Biya when we were at the Multipartism Stadium. Pa Ni John Fru Ndi asked people, that gun word una talk say Pa we go fight, una fit shoot am. And that was in 2017 when the SDF did a rally in Biya to call the government's attention about the issue of Anglophone marginalization. The SDF moved down from the parliamentary flat where they were first blocked by some tout and some goons sponsored by some members within the inner circle. All attempt to block the Social Democratic Front and their elected officials at the Biya parliamentary flat in 2017 failed as the population rose to say we are going to defend Pa Ni John Fru Ndi. It was not just about SDF, it was about the figure. And when he moved down to Multipartism Stadium, it was power to the people and equal opportunity. And then he told them, we must not go for violence. For if war breaks out, it will be difficult to resolve. That it takes a few to start, but it takes a nation to put an end. A voice, he said, people, the younger generation who have never experienced the ghost town, the 1990 debacle, gave a deaf ear. And today, we are where we are.
I made Fru Ndi, I'm telling you, you are deceiving yourself. The map there. In which atlas? In which atlas? Those are the saboteurs that come to disturb. If me, I become the SDF, I don't go outside the talk for day. But for day here, no. So we don't want people who are out to cause confusion. Amazonia has not been deserted anywhere. And they are talking because the SDF was formed. And since they formed SDF, we never changed track. I'm not talking Senegal and Amazonia not come up with the cause. Don't tell me that you know Anglophone problems better than I do. Don't tell me that they've insulted you as an Anglophone more than they've insulted me. Because some of you talking war, war, war. You don't even know how to shoot a gun. You don't even know how to shoot a gun. I bet you, me, Fru Ndi, if you smoke cigarette, well, I'm so, I get one, I will shoot cigarette from your hand, you take a hand run. I'm a marksman. But should I shoot him to chill? I want to chill. I don't want that. And those of you who know me with a gun, know that if I take them, right? But they are all Cameroonians, and it's my wish and place to protect them and orientate them.
If they had listened to Pa Ni John Fru Ndi's approach when he talked about that gun, don't use the gun, use your voice, use your activism, probably over 5,000 plus would not have been killed, probably houses would not have been burnt, probably people would not have been kidnapped, probably the traditional cultural festivals that used to occur in villages will still be occurring. Today, some people cannot go back to their villages. Why? They are fear of being kidnapped, either by the boys, as one minister defined what is called the boys, or what is the other called the armed fighters, or the other side. You don't know who is who. With past legacy still on, one question you as an Anglophone should ask yourself: what role have you played in resolving this conflict? And when you see, this was past regular spot for interviews, natural. This was regular spot for interview. And also you could see that was where he used to sit to receive his visitors. You see, Pai is still there, his picture is still on his seat. And that is tell you that the legacy lives on. And as we leave Bamenda, we leave you with one thing. That we leave you is the spirit of John Fru Ndi. That spirit that you should never compromise, never give in, never give up. Stand true to your dignity and uphold the values of humanity, the respect of the rule of law. Power to the people and equal opportunity. Thank you.